Hi, during this video I'm going to show you how to install a smoke detector. So in my hand here I have a photoelectric kid style smoke detector, and it comes with three main components. They're all pretty much the same with three components. You're going to see a wiring harness. You're going to see a smoke detector itself, as well as the base. Okay, so when you get a brand new smoke detector, the very first thing you want to do just to ensure is that you don't throw away the red bag. Quite often they come with a red plastic bag. I don't have one with this smoke detector, but the idea behind the red plastic bag that comes with a brand new smoke detector is that protects it from dust during construction. So if you put that on, any of the drywall dust or anything like that won't get into the sensing chambers, because that's going to reduce the life of a smoke detector. Okay, so your smoke detectors typically last about 10 years. You're going to have to change the battery every year on a smoke detector as well. Just some interesting points. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is verify that the power is disconnected. Okay, because we're going to be doing this without power. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I got my wiring harness. Okay, I'm going to be installing that first. Okay, so right now the smoke detector that I don't have any caps on the red. Okay, because this was actually a smoke detector that was used previously. So what I'm going to do with my smoke detector is I'm going to put a cap on the red. But your smoke detectors will already have an insulating cap on the red conductor. So the red conductor, when you're installing a single smoke detector, is not used. The red conductor is used only when you're going to be installing multiple smoke detectors. It serves as a communication wire so that when one detector goes into alarm, it informs all the other detectors that there's a fire, and then they'll all go into alarm at the exact same time. All right, so with that capped, what we're going to do is we're going to splice the white and the black to the group of whites and the group of blacks. All right, so I'm going to start off with the whites. And you'll notice with the smoke detector, there is no bonding wire at all. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take the green wire, okay, and I'll put that to the bare copper wires, and I'll complete the bonding connection. Okay, so I'll splice those together. And then once that's done, we'll just tuck it into the box and get that out of the way. The next thing we're going to do is the whites. So I'll just move those blacks out of the way, and I'm going to take my white wires. So I got this stranded white, and just a reminder, that's the white that's part of the flexible cord. And then I got these two solid whites, and I'm splicing those into it as well, because I want to have the switch and the plugs installed as well as the smoke detector. So we'll take the wire cap off, and that's where I'm going to grab the white wire of the wiring harness, and you just give it a little bit of a twist to make sure the strands are all together. And then you're going to take all four wires, you're going to lay the strands next to the solids so that they're nice and even, and then you're going to put a wire cap on that. Okay, it's going to look like that. I'm just going to twist it a little bit more. So the whites are done. And we're going to do the exact same thing to the blacks. So, looking for my black wire cap. It's actually on the wire right now. So I'll take the black stranded, that's part of the flexible cord, and the black stranded, that's part of the wiring harness. Hold those two together, and then I'm going to attach them to the solid black wires, and I'll splice it all together. Okay, and then all the blacks are together, and you can always give all the wires a tug just to make sure it's nice and secure. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video. I'll let you get your wire caps orientated or connected like I have it here. Welcome back. Okay, so the next step, now that they're all spliced together, is we're going to tuck these all into the box. With the only thing, and you want to tuck it in so that there's kind of a gap in the middle, because that's where the wiring harness is going to be sitting. So then you're going to be grabbing your base of the smoke detector. Okay. Now what you're going to have to do with the smoke detector, and this one's already has had it done to the base, okay, is sometimes you have to use your flat blade screwdriver and tap out an opening to fit where one of the screws are. So I'll take my base and I'll put it over top of the wiring harness and just make sure all your wires are in the box. And you're going to line up the holes . And then you can tighten it so that the base is secured to the box. And you just have your wiring harness, and this should fit right into the box. So that's why I was saying make sure that where the wiring harness is going to sit is clear of wires. Okay, so we can pull this out. We're going to grab our smoke detector. And if you had to replace the battery, okay, the battery is going to be located in most of them. It's on the back side. Actually, I shouldn't say most. Probably about 75% of your smoke detectors, that's where your battery is. And it's a 9-volt battery. Okay, but there are some models where the battery clips out from the top side, depending on the detector you have. Okay, so we'll just take these 3 pins and we're going to attach them to that wiring harness. Okay, so you just clip it in. Once it's clipped in, you're going to push the smoke detector onto the base, and you're going to rotate it until it sits into the appropriate channel, and you're going to rotate it until it locks. So you put it into the channel, and it's kind of done by feel, and then it's a counterclockwise rotation to lock it in place. This particular smoke detector tells me to replace it by 2025, so it's 5 years old. Typically, these are good for up to 10 years. All right, and then I just want you to be aware when you power this up, it's going to make, sometimes they make a sound, okay, a big beeping sound. The newer smoke detectors, you're going to see a lot of vocal instructions coming out of the smoke detector. It'll actually speak to you if you get a fairly good smoke detector, and it runs through a complete series of internal tests as well. So it's usually pretty loud when you first turn them on. Okay, so I got my power, my extension cord, which is plugged into the wall. Now I'm going to plug my extension cord into the flexible cord that I created. And be aware, some smoke detectors are going to make a loud noise. Okay, if you happen to have people around, and it's something that you would want to communicate with them. And you're going to be looking for, as you plug it in, you're going to be looking for a green light to illuminate somewhere on that smoke detector, and that's your power light. Okay. Now, if you take a look at the face of the smoke detector, you're going to see a button that says test, and you're going to see a button that says silence with most smoke detectors. After you've replaced your smoke detector or installed it, you're always going to want to do a test. Okay, and then after you've tested it, it'll go through an automatic test, and sometimes they'll shut off by themselves. Sometimes you have to silence them. Okay, so if you happen to or have to remove a smoke detector during cooking, a lot of people will remove them. Some people will just press the hush or the silence push button. But quite often it re-engages after a short period of time. It resets it, and if there's still smoke in the chamber, it's going to go into alarm again. So I'm just going to press the test button. And that's how loud it gets. And if you had multiple smoke detectors, they would all be going off at the same time when you press test on one of them.